Video game journals are always looking for a game to attack and a way to attack gamers, and right now that happens to be through Mecha Break because a lot of gamers are praising it because it features sexy characters and it's not politically correct and it's just a really enjoyable title. And now the gamers put out an article titled Mecha Break's character models aren't a victory because nobody cares when they're proving they care because they wrote an article on it in the first place. But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, on this channel, I have to talk a lot about people saying they don't care when really they do. It's like censorship. They say, oh, censoring a panty shot in a video game's not that big of a deal, but why was it censored in the first place if it wasn't that big of a deal? And now they're saying the same exact thing about Mecha Break. So this is by Stacy Henley, a feminist. I haven't played Mecha Break yet. Opinion instantly discarded. Why is it that video game journos feel like it is okay to straight up admit that they are not doing their job? Oh yeah, guys, I haven't played Mecha Break yet, but I can sit here and trash it even though I could be playing it. It's different if leading up to the release of something, you're giving your opinions on a teaser or a trailer or promotional material, right? Because the reason why companies put out trailers is so people can judge it. They just hope positively, and so they'll swipe their credit card and pre-order it. But this game has an open beta that anybody can play, so there really isn't an excuse as somebody whose job it is to play video games why you have not played this video game yet. And if you don't like this type of game, that's okay, but why are you talking about it then? Possibly a little overstretched with 3 game modes, and due to still being in beta, we don't know yet exactly how its monetization will be. Nevertheless, this is the one worry that I have with this game. So I've streamed it, I've played it, I've enjoyed it. I think that it's really fun. I think it's got a good variety of mechs. I think that the character creation system is obviously really fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I do want to see how the monetization is going to turn out to be because there are already several like daily login rewards, and there are already like items in a cash shop that you can't really buy right now, but they're clearly supposed to get you like interested, like, oh my gosh, this mech looks really cool, or oh my gosh, this skin looks really cool. I'm always extremely worried when it comes to monetization systems. I have a feeling this one is going to be similar to the first Descendant, which is a shame because that means it is going to push a lot of people away. But just judging the gameplay itself, it is really fun and very addicting. Other people, those who don't know me and have never met me, have decided I hate it. This is the way of modern gaming discourse. See, the problem is that you're admitting that you haven't played it, but you're still putting out an opinion piece just to find a way to trash gamers. You hate us, you might hate this game, but either way, why would I give you the benefit of the doubt at this point? You see, while people interested in actually playing Mecha Break are talking about the range of mech units and pricey upgrades, others are only concerned with the character models. These custom characters are pretty hyper-stylized and have jiggle physics for days with sliders in all the right places. You can make hot women. This may make a few people angry somewhere, but it's bizarre that it's taken as a win against people like me who just don't care. There are plenty of people on the internet who care. There are plenty of people who are attacking this game because of the jiggle physics. I did a whole video talking about reviews that were left on Steam from people who were mad that they're over-sexualized characters. This happens with every game, though. Even look at something like Marvel Rivals. There were people attacking some of the heroes, some of the characters, because they happen to be in bodysuits, because they happen to be featuring all different sorts of really good assets, let's say, for YouTube anti-demonetization's sake. There are people on the internet who are angry over this. But why is it that you are writing an article then if you claim you don't care? If you claim nobody cares or it's just not that serious, then why are you making a big deal out of it? Because you want attention, because this is what these gaming journos have resorted to, because they're trying their best to hold on to their jobs and keep their outlets afloat, because they know that they need to bring in money, and they know that people will click this even if they're hate clicks. Now, this is why I use archives all of the time, but it's just really pathetic. It is taken as a victory against wokeness that a game with sexy ladies is popular, just as it was when Stellar Blade did well. But the truth is, no one really cares. People do care, and that is why we are going out of our way to defend these products. And there are plenty of people who do care on the opposite side who want these games to fail. And that is why I constantly put up videos when there's sexy characters in video games, because there are going to be people who are going to attack them just because the characters are well endowed. There were tons of journalists putting up hit pieces on Stellar Blade alone saying, oh my god, these developers treated Eve like she was a sexualized doll and this is ridiculous. And then, of course, their sensitive snowflake audience goes on to attack the developers as well and demand censorship and demand changes, which is terrible. If there weren't snowflakes getting upset over these games, trying to get them canceled, we would not have to show up to defend these games. But as long as you're going to criticize them, I'm going to defend them. Unfortunately, wokeness has taken over the video game industry, and we are seeing a lot of female characters nowadays lead games, and they're ugly. Okay, they're masculinized, ugly characters because apparently modern day video game designers and writers think that you can't be sexy and strong at the same time, which is insane. It's people shadowboxing and declaring themselves the winner. It's the inverse of the I'm playing chess while they're playing checkers idea. We're over here minding our own business in a completely different game, and you've slammed a rook down on the table and announced that you have outsmarted us again. If you don't think that this game is a problem, then why are you putting up an article going out of your way to attack gamers who are defending it? It seems that you're pretty upset over its existence. I'm not going to show off all of the examples I had highlighted in my previous video, but here's one. The character creator, you can pick how big, how perky, and how far apart your boobs are, how big, how perky, and how far apart your butt cheeks are. There's a separate slider for thigh thickness and width. The combat, press L mouse button to shoot, press R mouse button to melee dash. There's a weird pause between every input. There's absolutely the illusion or no illusion about what this game wants to be and who its target audience is. If you like boobarellas, then this is your game. If you like mecha combat, I would suggest something else, which is insanely inaccurate. And clearly, I mean, the person's on record time really does show how little they played of this, because it's not just pressing two buttons. You have multiple abilities. You have to get away from the enemies because they do a lot of damage. Like, absolutely insane take here. Again, though, it's just somebody who wants to attack the game for having sexy characters. Here's another. Obnoxiously sexualized. You're forced to watch an animation of your character's chest wobbling after every death. Oh my gosh, guys. You have to look at breasts, which women in the real world have. This is insane. I mean, there are, again, people who are attacking this game just because of the sexy characters. And if you don't like this title, that's perfectly fine. But don't go out of your way to say that nobody's really offended by it when there are plenty of people who are offended by it. And the Steam numbers were doing absolutely phenomenal. So this is a beta. When full launch comes around, I'm sure it's going to do much better. The player numbers have dropped. They've gone up significantly in the evenings, as you can see, like 138,000, 176,000, 211,000, but the all-time peak 5 days ago for the first day of the open beta is 317,522, which is absolutely fantastic. So I will be keeping my eye on Mecha Break. I'll probably end up streaming it again as well after Monster Hunter Wilds. But TheGamer is saying that absolutely nobody cares when they went out of their way to write an article claiming that people didn't care, when clearly there are some snowflakes out there who are trying to get this canceled and actually do care. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.